need to address as a board. 2 months ago, a concerned citizen brought something to my attention. I brought it to administration. They were looked into things. I really didn't see much being done, which I need to address as soon as I can get some things going here. I'm trying. Don't even start. Okay, I was approached by a resident. I was able to look into some of these with another board member. We have this that is being served to our students. This particular cheese had a date on it of 2011. This one, I can't even address. This is white cheese, not blue cheese, but it's white cheese. That is being put out to our students in the district. Don't forget, parents are paying for this. We did have the health department do an inspection, the municipality did inspection, the county did an inspection, which they were all cleared. This piece of cheese, as you can see, is being served that day. One of the recommendations made by the health department was that you can cut off an inch around the mold. You tell me where you can see an inch that you could cut off. I'm still looking for that piece that I think serving the kids. You might do this at home, but I feel we have a lot of students here in the district that have issues with allergies, digestive problems, and we are putting this out. My concern was, when I was looking around, I found in a carton marked whole eggs was cheese. So if we're not hiding anything, why was there cheese in a box marked whole eggs? Which you can see the cheese that's in the box. This was a piece of cheese that was taken out of the egg box. This is our, that we can cut out the 1 inch. I've talked to several people that do own restaurants. Anything past 6 months, they don't even think of having in their restaurants. This was a shipment of raisins that we had gotten in September. The date on this says best used by 7/15/16. We received this shipment in September. These boxes of raisins should have been sent back and asked for credit, but we are still serving these to our students today. This is our ground meat that we have sitting in our refrigerator at the high school. Now, the ground meat has been back since, dated since 2014. We are looking at 2 years of meat that we are serving our students, whether in tacos, whether in Fritos, in the carry-along bags or whatever, but there's no nutritional value after such a long period of time. You pull this out, I would not feed this to my family. I don't know about anybody else in the district that they're thinking their students are getting a nutritional lunch, but I needed as a board member to bring this to the light of the district, to community members that have made comments. Another one that I was able to, I guess, get a picture from, which I did not take the pictures. This is our ground meat that looks as it has defrosted and refrozen. That is blood on the meat, on the cases. This is more showing the frozen, and this is the blood that was at the bottom of the box of the ground meat. I am, and I ran for the best of these kids, to put kids first. And I don't want one child getting sick. I can't say any children have gotten sick. But then again, has anybody ever thought of it? This one really opened my eyes. This was a package of meat that was processed and boxed on October 15th of 2012 that is still sitting in our refrigerators at the high school. That is, if my calculations are right, 4 years of meat sitting there. I don't know about you, but my thoughts are something needs to be done to have this cleaned out, even though they did receive, everything was fine through the health department. As parents, I for one would not want my student, my child, eating this. My concern is prices are going up yearly in the food department for what these children are eating. And I guess that's going to end my report.
I got a question for you. Can I ask her a question?
Go ahead.
With your research on this and everything, did you find any current food like 2016 or 2015?
I cannot say I saw any ground meat, no current on that, no.
So
Is that because I served it?
my concern is, where's my tax or the public's tax dollars going if they're not feeding these kids with the proper dates?
That I cannot answer.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Warren. Mr. Lapcevich, Mr. Nolan. And just for the record, I will address a few of those issues along with Mr. Short from my report. But go ahead, Mr. Nolan. All right. As for the Cheesegate, I will deem it, the presentation that was just shown. Again, a few questions I have, just to make the public aware. This was brought up not by a concerned resident, well, maybe most likely is a concerned resident, but this was brought up by an employee. Why we had board members in coolers inspecting food, I am not sure. I can tell you, when this information was brought up, an extensive investigation was done. This was our next reading material last week. So just to let you know, the health department of Allegheny County came in on October 11th and did a review and went through all the coolers, went through everything, and said that there were no recommendations on areas of improvement. On October 18th, so exactly a week later, an anonymous tip was called into Allegheny Health Department. Another investigation, another review was conducted. Again, no recommendations for any areas of improvement. On another week later, on October 24th, the municipality of Monroeville was called in by Gateway officials to have them do a walkthrough. Again, everything checked out. So I do want to make people aware. First and foremost, I don't think we should be spreading the message that this food was served to students. That there is no information whatsoever that says that that is accurate. I think most definitely there is a huge problem with cycling the food. I believe individuals were being, we'll say, disciplined for not following that policy, and I believe that's where a lot of this came from. So I don't want to get into specifics, but I also don't want the public going around saying we are serving food from 1989 and that our cheese is covered in mold and that's what we're making pasta with. So again, I know nothing of that to be true. I also am not a food expert. That's why we relied on them. That's why we actually called these agencies in ourselves. And then again, anonymous tip was brought up and they came back out a week later and did another investigation. So So by all means, I'm sure we'll probably have another audit here this week after this information gets out, which I'm fine with, because I think we should have an open door policy. If anything is wrong, I think we should address that.
The district will be posting this information on the website. Also, sorry to
Absolutely.
interrupt, the Food and Nutritional Department has been following all USDA regulations and mandates that are specifically listed on the USDA site. They have been followed. It was investigated. These are the findings. As we talked amongst ourselves, it comes down to the board wanting to develop a policy, setting a higher standard for the food service or the food that we offer our children. We are open to that. We are discussing that, and we will continue to do so. But rest assured that I have not received one phone call about the food preparation, student getting sick, nothing. So I want the public to be rest assured that nothing has happened. Thank you.
Very good. And lastly, not lastly, I actually forgot another good thing, so we'll end with that. But to all board members, I again strongly recommend we follow board policy, we follow board procedures. When we get tied into investigating and playing detective and doing all these things, making promises we can't uphold, problems occur, problems arise. Times when we should be looking at, okay, what is good in the district? What accomplishments do we have? I mean, you look at this football team and how great they did. That was a huge accomplishment, and I think, unfortunately, a lot of students were overlooked in their accomplishments this past week because of adult involvement, getting involved with things that we should never have been involved with. So to all students involved with that, I do apologize. I urge, again, I continue to urge all board members, follow policy, follow procedure. It's very easy to throw an accusation up there and say, okay, this is what's happening, this is what's going on, and then it's unfounded. That does not help the district, that does not help the students, that does not help the taxpayer, that does not help anybody. If there's a valid concern, we expect it to be brought up, and we pay people a lot of money up here to do those investigations and to look into those things. I recommend we continue to follow those policies and procedures, have people look into those things. So I'm not trying to sweep anything under the carpet, I'm not trying to say, we should not look into these things, but the involvement, we can't just continue to get involved and create problems. That's not good for anyone. The last